everyone, and my name is Ela. I'm so excited because in May and some date I'm going to a Legoland with my friends. But when I do that day's homework. But it will be very excited because I'm very good at homeworks, so I'll do a lot of homeworks. So that means I'm really going to Legoland with my friends. And there is a hotel at the Legoland, and the hotel is like a pirate ship. So it's like a pirate there. I think is having pirate costumes too, and a pirate style beds and a hallway too. So I love to go there. I didn't wait to go there. Now today we're gonna start reading at Magic Tree Smaller Mission Book 7 Night of the New Magicians, Chapter 5. Hello, and it's a very long story, so we end reading at chapter 6. Okay, now are you ready for this one book with a lot of stories? And now here we go. Now first you can read the Magic Tree Smaller Missions 7 Night of the New Magicians, started at chapter 5. Hello. Jack and Annie pressed through the crowd of the people swarming about the hula machines. Finally, they reached to the exit and slid back to the warm Paris night. The fair was just crowded outside and as also inside. Magicians played guitars, singers sang, and food sellers shouted, "Chocolate, milk, cheese, bread, wine. We have to get the plaster and stewed fast." And he shouted to Jack. He pulled out their guidebook and scanned to the index, looking for the Prater Institute. "It's not there," he said. He closed the guidebook. "It must be a part of a fair. Maybe the one of the horse buggies and take us," said Annie. She pointed to the row of carriages along the street, and there was a line of and there is a line of the people waiting for them. "Come on," said Jack, and Annie and Jack made them way through the crowd and stood into the carriage line. "Thomas Oliver Edison is Alexander of the Graham Bell," said Jack. "The soccer must did. There are the magicians with the secret powers. And now he's invited to some kind of party," said Annie, "so he can steal their secrets." "There must be inviting other too," said Annie. "The magicians of the iron and the magicians of invisible. I wonder if they're inventors too," said Annie. "Come on, it's our turn," said Jack, and they reached the front of the carriage line. "We need to get to a place with the plaster institute," said Jack to call the carriage man. "Do you take us?" "But of course," said the man. "Thanks," said Annie. She and Jack climbed into the back of the open carriage. The coachman shook their reins, and White Horse coupled down of the cobblestone street. "Excuse me," Annie said, leaning forward, but was actually the Pastoral Institute. "It's a laboratory of the finding cures of the disease," said the coachman. "Oh," said Annie, "interesting." She turned back to Jack. Why would an evil stalker look for the magicians in a place like that? "I don't know," said Jack. "Maybe the stalker got sick," said Annie. "I don't think so," said Jack. "But now he really need a plan. If we run to him and the institute, remember the magic powers." "But we have magic powers too," said Annie. "Right," breathed Jack. He reached into the statute of the pulled out their book. and 10 magic reminds for Annie and Jack from Teddy and Kathleen. And the light had carried to the lantern. Jack and Annie have looked through the table of contents. Remember, we can use every month once. Said Jack to Annie, make a stone come from Alice. We've done that, and the helpers of the appear out of nowhere done yet. And one month the cat and mended done that, but we haven't used a spade to do it here. Said Annie, make us to their son to turn their ducks. Go back, said Jack. Make something disappear. Oh, what about that? A person? A something? Said Annie. Why not? Said Jack. This is the one man we could solve the whole problem. It must be we couldn't make the solve out of the whole problem. Just make the soccer disappear. Oh yes, breathed Annie. Okay, here's the plan, said Jack. It's a memorize the remind now. As soon as we see the soccer, we can say without having to look in the book. Great, said Annie. Jack have turned to the page of the remind book. I'll memorize that, Teddy wrote. You memorize in the line and Kathleen's language, he said. Got it, said Annie. She looked at the remind and stared into the line. DB1, no don't, said Jack, putting his head over his mouth. Oh, why, Jack say, no don't, putting his hand over his mouth. Don't say it out loud until we need it. You might accidentally make one of our something really important disappear. Oh, sorry, said Annie. We'll practice silently, said Jack. And we will learn each of our friends into our lines, so neither of us can say the whole rhyme at the wrong time. Good plan, said Annie, and Annie stared at her silently while the line of students hissed. And as Jack repeated over this line on his head, the carriage rolled down the busy street. The street is full with more carriages and many bicycles. Some of the bikes are built for 2 people. Couple of the dresses in the fancy evening clothes painted together, and another pair's eyes have aided by the candlelight over the outdoor cafes, and the waiters while the proms that carried trays high into the air. Everyone have seemed to be relaxed and cheerful. The rain turned into the quiet trees, lime street, and they have ran to the wood, not be worn to an evil soccer. Here we are, said the driver, interrupting Jack's thoughts. He brought their carriage to a stop. The Pasteur Institute. This is it, said Jack. The Pasteur Institute looks like the spooky mansion. Its huge front of the door have closed to its tall windows are dark. Are you sure we've come to the right place? Said Annie in a small voice. Of course I'm sure, said the coachman. The institute of the appears to be at close. Would you like me to take to somewhere else? No thanks, said Jack. We will get out of here. And Annie have a coachman and a few coins. And then she and Jack climb out of the carriage. Thanks, said Annie. The coachman flicked his reins, and the white horse rode away with their street. And Jack and Annie upstairs the dark, silent building. I guess we should go up in the knock, said Annie. She and Jack have climbed to the stone steps of the gigantic front doors. We came out of this place, said Jack. A gas lamp with a small metal sign at it says, Louis Pasteur Institute. Jack knocked the door 3 times. No one answered. And Annie appeared into the huge index and pushed. The door is locked. Maybe there's another door somewhere, said Annie. And Jack and Annie walked around the institute. By the knocked back to the side door, but no one answered. As they got back to the front door of the building, Jack leaped up high. It's no use, he said. We've came a complete dead end. We can't give up, said Annie. I know, said Jack. The both stood looking to the street. It was quiet except for a few bikes riding by. Suddenly the whispering voice came from behind them. Hello? Oh, who is behind Jack and Annie? Is it Merlin or another magician's invisible or something else? But it might be some light. Oh, not light, but invisible and someone more magicians back behind that Jack and Annie. That means they have found the 3 or 4 magicians now. So they did all of their missions, but I think it's one of the invisible or some more magicians. And now it's chapter 6, Invisible. Oh, they have found the invisible magicians because it's called the invisible. And now, did you have fun? You list English country. We come back with some of these books, but not the story because it might be a new chapter to read, okay? And please thumbs in my YouTube. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a nice day. Bye.